Now I know you've seen a lot of paranormal clips and videos, but have you seen this?
Before we show you what that's all about, you might want to psych yourself, because today's episode has wild clips like these which show cryptids and paranormal activities in ways you've never imagined.
My name is Steve, this is Classified Captures.
UFO, angel, or illusion? What exactly are we looking at here? This seemingly simple question doesn't have a simple answer. When these images were first shared on the paranormal platforms, many were conflicted. Some felt these were nothing, just UFOs in the sky. Others felt they looked more celestial, like maybe angels. Naturally, this led to a heated debate, and looking at it, I understand that both stances do have a point. I, on the other hand, am tempted to side with those who think this might be angels. We haven't seen angels before, or at least, well, I haven't, but many cultures seem to have images of them, and they all typically look like this. But if these are indeed angels, why are they in the sky like this? Is this some sort of message to humanity? Is the end nigh? As my team and I were debating and discussing this, our science whiz Julius walked in and called the whole thing fake. He thinks this was edited to look like this and pull traffic to the page that we took it from. You guys take a critical look and let us know what you think. Also, these images were allegedly photographed over the island of Ikaria, Greece. We have no way of confirming it, but if you live around or know someone there, can they confirm if something like this popped up over the last few days? If it's confirmed, then yes, we have an alien or angel situation on our hands. If not, then perhaps Julius was right after all. Still on strange captures in the sky, imagine looking up and seeing this. That's a man standing in the clouds, right? Or is it behind it? Before you shout AI, know that we already did this for you, but the uploader of the clip insists it's legit and was captured in China. We've no way of verifying this, so our only option is to critically take a good look at the clip. Many in the paranormal community were awed by the clip and believed it could be true, especially with the noise in the background as well as voices. They may or may not be speaking Mandarin. Some thought the being or individual in the clip was an ancient deity watching over the people, whereas others weren't so sure. They suspected this might be a large statue appearing behind the clouds. They believe it's just perspective, creating the illusion of a large being behind the clouds. There are a few individuals who also believed this was definitely doctored footage. They felt a normal clip could have been edited to give it the look you and I are seeing. But you've watched the clip, so what do you think?
Hijo, está escondido. ¿Dónde está escondido? Hijo, te estoy viendo.
I've never succeeded in getting my dog to play hide and seek with me, but clearly the individual recording this clip has. As cute as the interaction is, it's not the focus of this clip. From the clip, we can tell that the dog is called Chun Chun, and it's affectionately referred to as Son by the owner. It hides behind the TV until the owner says it can come out. Once the owner gives the go-ahead for it to come out, it hesitates before it finally does.
Hijo. Chun Chun. Ya, pues, aparece, pues, hijo.
I initially thought nothing of the clip until a team member mentioned that there was a pale figure in the same space as the dog, which is why it might have hesitated in coming out. Do you see it? That's not normal. It should not be there, yet somehow it is. Many individuals who saw the clip believed it might be a ghost or apparition. I've watched the clip several times and I'm unable to make up my mind. So what do you guys think we're dealing with here?
¿Dónde está escondido? Hijo, te estoy viendo. Chuchu. Es escondido, es escondido. Hijo. Hijo.
Still on strange beings hiding in the dark, we got this disturbing video recorded by a family before their dinner time. In the clip, we hear a young boy tell his mom or grandma that there's something watching them from the doorway. Despite his attempts to point out the figure to his family, they didn't notice it. After a few tries, he gets them to see it, but, well, what exactly are they looking at? To be honest, it's hard to say because the clip is blurry, but we do see a pale white face. Someone in the comments mentioned that it looked like Jeff the Killer. This was my first time hearing that name, so I did some research, and it turns out that Jeff the Killer is a fictional character from a creepypasta horror story known for his pale face, haunting smile, and dark sunken eyes. After a series of violent events, he becomes a deranged killer and whispers, "Go to sleep," before attacking. Every source I've reviewed online spoke of him as a fictional character with no real-world connections. Could this clip be the first real appearance, or is someone merely adopting the legend for his modus operandi? Hard to say, but I really hope the family got someone to check out and make sure that no one was stalking them. Unless, of course, this was a supernatural being. Next, we visit the Egyptian desert, where an unusual discovery has been made. And no, it's not another pyramid. A woman named Layla was traveling over the Red Sea when she noticed something unusual in the sand. Fortunately, she was already filming, allowing her to capture what she saw. She then uploaded the clip online, soliciting opinions and theories on what it might be. Reviewing the footage, I can't be the only one who thinks this looks like some sort of ancient structure, right? It seems to have been buried in the sand millennia ago. The big question is, what exactly is this? The thing is, no one knows. Even Aaron, our conspiracy theorist, has nothing on this one. Can any of you help, or do we need to take an expedition there? Would you use a transparent phone? What's that? It's not possible for a phone to be transparent. Well, then how do you explain this? Yeah, the lady in the clip is allegedly using a transparent phone. Well, before you write it off as being impossible, you must know that rumors about transparent phones have been circulating for years, often sparked by concept designs and tech patents from companies like Samsung, LG, and Xiaomi. While no fully transparent smartphone has hit the market, key advancements are edging closer to making it a reality. Technologies like transparent OLED displays, invisible circuits printed on glass, and see-through batteries are in development alongside nanotechnology that allows companies to be both functional and nearly invisible. The challenge lies in miniaturizing and hiding essential parts like cameras, processors, and antennas without compromising performance. Though still largely experimental, the combination of these innovations suggests that a partially or fully transparent phone may become feasible within the next decade. Who knows if the lady in the clip has figured it out, or at least knows someone who has. Maybe, just maybe, that's a prototype she's testing. Just think about it. Not sure if you guys knew this already, but caves can be pretty dangerous. Many daredevils who go cave exploring don't usually make it back.
Oh, I don't like this.
In this clip, we see a group of individuals exploring a cave system with trained and professional guides. The ones filming decide to break off from the group to explore an area that interested them. This is something you should never ever do. Their adventure is, however, cut short when they notice something in the distance. It's a humanoid creature, albeit it's dressed in a white gown and just has this otherworldly feel to it. Also, there was no one among the exploring team that was dressed like that. This could only mean one thing: a ghost. But how? Well, remember how I said these caves can be dangerous? It's not too far-fetched to think someone could have died in there while exploring the cave. The quality of the footage is low, so we can't see much, but almost everyone in my team thinks it's a ghost. So what about you? What do you think? You know how they say death is never truly the end? This lady may have just experienced that firsthand. She lost her uncle a few days prior to filming this clip, and after he'd been buried, the bulb in the area she was standing started flickering at 3 o'clock a.m. It was not a one-time thing. No, it started happening almost every day after her uncle was buried. She then decided to be bold and ask questions. She went to the bulb and said if her uncle was still around. The bulb should flicker 2 times, and it did. That's not all, though. She later receives a call that goes to voicemail. She listens to it, and it's a voice that verbally answers the questions she asked under the flickering light. The voice told her he was around and he could see her. She doesn't play the full audio, but she plays enough for us to know who and what they're referring to. When she uploaded this online, some called her out for lying, others felt this was genuine and thanked her for sharing such a sensitive part of her life. Many of my team members aren't buying it though, but what do you think?
I don't know who it is. It's hard to hear, so I want to see if it gives me Anyway, listen.
Have you ever seen a UFO crash? No? Well, today's your lucky day. In the clip, we see something falling from the sky and falling quickly, and while falling from the sky, it starts to break apart with some components hitting the vehicles in traffic. When I first saw this, I felt the plane or craft or whatever it is had an unusual shape. That was until I read the caption of the post. The original uploader claims this is top secret footage and even visited the location during the day to prove it's real and not made up. While that's interesting, one thing someone pointed out is we don't see anything tangible from the visitation clip. Another person in the community mentioned that while the bridges look similar, they're very different. Simply put, the individual who uploaded the clip was lying. I've watched the clip over and over and understand both sides of the argument. But a part of me wants this to be real, so I'm likely to be biased. And you've seen the clip, so what do you think? This one's for all the tech lovers and spider fans, if that's even a combo. A woman felt something odd while trying to capture a spider on camera, and what happened left everyone scratching their heads. So here's what went down. She had trapped a spider under a glass cup and decided to film it up close with her phone. As she zoomed in and tapped on her phone screen to focus, something strange happened. The spider reacted. It flinched, moved, or responded every time she tapped on her phone screen, but when she tapped directly on the glass cup in real life, the spider didn't react at all. So how is this even possible? Well, it turns out the spiders have incredibly sensitive senses. Some species can detect heat signatures, subtle vibrations, and even tiny electrical fields in the environment. On modern smartphones, especially those with LiDAR scanners for 3D scanning or Face ID, emit infrared pulses and very mild electromagnetic fields. The spider sitting under the glass couldn't feel the physical tap, but when the phone's LiDAR pinged out a signal, it likely detected the infrared pulses. To the spider, it felt like something was there, even though nothing physically touched it. So in a way, it's like the spider was reacting to a ghost touch from a machine. Looks like Peter Parker might have been right. Those spidey senses are no joke.
Have you ever seen something like this happen? Drop your strangest bug comments down below.
It's like if it feels what I'm
Okay,
touching
wait,
on
stop.
the camera.
Okay, go. Ooh, that is so weird.
How and why?
Ew.
Lately, there's been a strange and honestly unsettling trend spreading across the internet, and it's becoming more alarming. You may have seen some of those viral videos floating around, and if you haven't yet, well, brace yourself. People are uploading clips of themselves living with what can only be described as extreme lifestyles. And no, we're not just talking about wild fashion choices or quirky habits. We're talking about full-blown bizarre behavior. For example, one video shows a person walking around in public wrapped in trash bags shaped like a pregnant alien. And they're doing this while wearing impossibly high heels. It's almost like a performance art piece, except there's no art, and this is not a joke. Then there are the ones who dress like animals and go about their daily lives as if it's completely normal. Some bark, crawl around, some meow, and others wear fully furry suits while shopping, working out, or just hanging in public spaces. And it's not just for fun. Some of them genuinely act like the animals they're dressed as. We've also seen clips of people who look extremely unhealthy, some dangerously underweight, others with extreme muscle modifications. Then things get even darker. One man put raw meat in his yard and let flies cover it. He was waiting for maggots to grow so he could eat it on camera. And yeah, he actually did. Some are even eating raw chicken and others unsafe foods on live stream, claiming it's a lifestyle. So the question is, what the hell is going on? Are we suddenly seeing this type of extreme and sometimes disturbing content being pushed so frequently? And is this just another wave of internet shock culture? Or is there something deeper happening? Some people believe the algorithms might be favoring more bizarre and sensational content because it grabs attention. Others wonder if this is a reflection of the bigger problem, like a collective loss of identity, purpose, or even humanity in parts of online culture. Whatever the reason, it's definitely not just harmless internet fun anymore. When people are doing dangerous things for likes or living in ways that question reality, it says something about the direction we're heading. A man set up his trail camera deep in the woods because he believed something strange had been happening in the area, possibly even UFO activity. For weeks, he'd noticed odd lights in the sky and unexplained disturbances in the forest, so he placed the camera to catch whatever was going on. When he finally retrieved the footage, what he found left him speechless. In the video, a deer is seen calmly grazing in the clearing. It's a peaceful moment. The deer munches on some leaves totally undisturbed, but then, out of nowhere, a sudden bright flash of light appears in the grass behind it. A beam of light zips across the scene just behind the deer. It moves fast, low, and completely silent across the ground. But the deer doesn't even react. It doesn't flinch or turn its head. It's like it doesn't even notice it. The man who reviewed the footage said there was something even weirder. When he went back to the exact spot where the light appeared, he found patches of grass that looked burned, like something had scorched the area. He couldn't come up with any logical explanation. There were no storms that night, no vehicles in the area, no definitely signs of people. His best guess is that it might have been a UFO. What's odd is how completely unbothered the deer seemed, as if it either didn't sense it or sees this kind of thing all the time. So what was that light? Could it have been a drone, some kind of atmospheric phenomenon, or was it something not of this world? This next footage was emailed in by a fan. It's a piece of security camera footage they captured from their own home, and it's one of the strangest things we've seen in a while. In the clip, you'll see what looks like two long, glowing shapes. They're bright, almost like beams of light, and they just appear out of nowhere. The whole thing happened late at night, and the objects weren't there 1 second, and then suddenly they were. At first, I thought they could be legs, maybe ghost legs like the lower half of an apparition passing through. But the more you watch the footage, the more confusing it gets. The shapes don't move like legs. They shift, hover, and almost float around in a natural way. It's really hard to tell what they are. Some viewers who've seen this footage think they might be drones, but if they are, where's the body or light source? These things aren't blinking like regular drones, they're just two long, bright, solid forms, and they move in eerie silence. Others believe this could be some kind of heavy energy or spirit manifestation, and honestly, the setting, the timing, and the way it moves make that theory hard to ignore. So what do you think it is? I recently came across something pretty interesting and honestly a bit unsettling about the McDonald's fries. Now, we all know how iconic those fries are, if we can even call strips of potato iconic. Golden, crispy, and strangely addictive, but here's the thing. McDonald's doesn't just use any potato, they specifically use a variety called the russet Burbank. It's a large, long potato that produces those perfect uniform fries, but the russet Burbank is not easy to grow. It's prone to blemishes and diseases, and that makes it a difficult crop to farm. To keep up with the massive demand McDonald's creates, farmers have to grow these potatoes in huge quantities. But to do that successfully, they use a very specific chemical called monitor. And this chemical is no joke. It's so dangerous that when it's sprayed on the crop, farmers aren't even allowed to enter the fields for several days. That's how toxic it is. The spray helps the potatoes grow more uniformly and reduces blemishes, but it comes at a serious cost. Even after the potatoes are harvested, they're not sent off to McDonald's right away. Instead, they're stored in huge sheds for weeks, sometimes longer, just to allow the chemicals to dissipate. They're too toxic to eat straight from the ground. That means by the time those fries make it into your McDonald's bag, they've gone through a long process, not just of farming and storage, but of chemical detox. All this for just a perfect-looking fry.
Personally, I can't stand McDonald's. I'm a Burger King man all the way. What about you? Tell me what burger's your favorite in the comments.
The next video was shared by a man who was walking past an abandoned building in Scotland when something strange caught his attention. He said he started to hear this strange banging noise like someone was aggressively kicking something. So he followed the sound to the back of the building to see what was going on, and that's when he found it. There was this old wooden door completely sealed, but it was being kicked in from the inside. And as he recorded, you can see it happen. The bottom half of the door opens slightly, but when the camera pans over the open gap, there's no one there, just a space behind the door. The building itself is believed to be haunted, and honestly, after seeing this, it's hard to argue with that. What makes it even creepier is that there's no wind at all. You can see the nearby trees in the video completely still. So it's not like a gust came through and caused the movement. The man who filmed it believes this could have been the work of a ghost, and after watching it for yourself, you might just agree.
You think it's a ghost?
It is a ghost.
It's just a wind.
Mate. Must be a ghost.
No, it's a wind.
No, it's a ghost.
Let's go. It's a fucking ghost.
Moose are said to be pretty huge creatures, and have you ever seen one up close? Take a good look at this video. Someone was inside their home when they started filming this massive moose out in a parking lot. The moose was standing between two cars, and it was huge. It completely towered over the cars. You can really see just how big and bulky it is. The moose stood completely still, almost like it was frozen in place. Now, some people online are saying this could be AI-generated footage, but let's not forget that moose really do get this big, especially the males. They can stand over 6 feet tall at the shoulder and weigh over 1,500 pounds. So what do you think of this footage? Is it real, or are we just looking at some kind of digital trickery? Can stars move? For most of us, the answer is no. But the man on your screen has been studying it for years and believes they can. According to him, he started noticing that the stars, or at least some of them, started showing up in different places, which should not be the case. He even mentioned that the Orion Belt is no longer where it's supposed to be. Bear in mind, this is a star system many use and trust to find their way around ancient times. For it to disappear, there can only be one explanation. The stars are moving, and possibly they aren't stars at all. Think about it.
What's weird is certain stars are actually just coming up in different places. Like I see this one huge star that comes up over the mountains at like 2 a.m. now. So it makes you wonder what's going on if there's this shift that's taken place in the sky. And, a lot of people have talked about these things. Every 25,000 years, there's a change in the sky. And it kind of makes you wonder if something's shifted.
Have you heard this one? France has announced that it's working on building a full combat-ready robot army. Yeah, actual robots, not just drones or remote-controlled machines, but autonomous and semi-autonomous military robots designed specifically for warfare. And they're not planning to wait until the distant future. According to reports, France is aiming to start deploying these robots as early as 2028, which is just around the corner. And by 2040, the goal is to have a fully functional robotic military force. This includes everything from robot soldiers to armed autonomous vehicles, surveillance units, and AI-driven battlefield machines. Now let that sink in for a second. We're talking about a world where robot soldiers could walk, besides, or even replace human troops in actual war zones. These machines are expected to be faster, more efficient, and capable of making tactical decisions in real time with little to no human input. Sounds exciting? Well, maybe, but sounds terrifying. Yeah, definitely. A lot of people are raising serious questions like what happens if something goes wrong. Movies like Terminator, iRobot, or even Ex Machina have warned us what happens when artificial intelligence is given control over life and death. And while France says the robots will be strictly monitored, there's still a growing concern worldwide because once countries start rolling out robotic armies, others will follow. It becomes an arms race about machine power. Are you in favor of this, or are we opening a Pandora's box for something we can never close again? Human history might not be what we think it is, not even close. A strange new piece of footage is raising eyebrows and questions all over the internet. Someone was hiking near a remote mountain range when they noticed something bizarre carved into the side of the cliff. At first glance, it just looked like part of a rocky surface until they looked closer. And it was a massive face. And not just any face, one with a clear smile, defined teeth, and deep eye sockets. It looked too precise to be a random natural formation. The features were eerily human, yet exaggerated like something from a different age or a different species entirely. Now, we're told all the time that strange mountain formations are just natural erosion, weathering, and coincidence, but when you see a smiling stone face carved into solid rock halfway up a mountain, it starts to feel like there's more to the story. And this isn't just a one-off. Across the world, people in the conspiracy and alternative history communities have been pointing out similar sights like gigantic humanoid shapes in rock, animal forms etched into cliffs, and even entire landscapes that resemble petrified creatures or beings. Some believe these formations are what's left of ancient beings, possibly from a time before recorded history, and these beings were larger, different, and maybe even godlike. Others think they might have been petrified, literally turned to stone through time, nature, or something else entirely. This leads to a massive question. What if civilization, creatures, or even entire species once existed on Earth that we've either forgotten or we never told about in the first place? It's a wild theory, but one that's gaining traction. Because once you see these kinds of rock formations with your own eyes, it's hard to believe it's all just a random coincidence. What do you think? Now, we've come across a rather intriguing image, and its origin only deepens the mystery. It was taken at an unknown location, and what it shows has people asking a lot of questions. In the sky, there's this purple glowing object, and it doesn't look like anything we've seen before. Its shape is unusual, lowercase n, and it appears to be floating high up in the atmosphere. The glow around it gives it an almost ethereal feel, like it's not just a solid object, but something more. But here's where it gets even stranger. When the image was zoomed in, the outline of what looked like a wheel or circular structure was embedded in the object. It's faint, but it's there, the shape of a wheel. Now, we've seen plenty of UFO sightings, from blurry lights to strange disks and unidentifiable flying objects, but this shape stands out. Not just because of its strange form, but because of its glow, the detail inside it, and the fact that it doesn't seem to behave like any aircraft we know. So what are we looking at here? Could this be some kind of alien mothership hidden in plain sight, or is it a secret aircraft that uses advanced tech that we haven't heard of yet? Some people are even wondering if it might be a portal or a tear in the sky itself, revealing something from another realm. What do you think? Here's another eerie fan-submitted sighting that caught our attention. This one came from someone who was out jogging at night, just trying to get in some exercise before turning in for the day. But during his jog, he noticed something strange above him that made him stop in his tracks. It was close to nighttime, so the sky had this grayish twilight color with a light layer of clouds drifting across. At first, everything looked pretty normal, but then something changed. Odd streaks of light began flashing behind the clouds. They were quick, dim streaks that would move across the sky in ways that didn't feel like normal lighting or aircraft. Take a good look at the footage, and you'll see what I mean. Even though the clouds muted the brightness, the streaks were still visible. So what could this be? Some people think these could be secret aircraft, maybe flying high above the cloud cover with some kind of cloaking tech. Others believe it's UFOs using the cloud layer for cover. Even a few theories are floating around that suggest it could be energy discharges or electromagnetic phenomena, something not yet fully understood by science. Whatever the case, it definitely was not normal, and the jogger who filmed had never seen anything like it before. So what do you think these streaks of light were? A fan shared this wild footage with us, and if you've never seen how a giant anaconda gets caught in the wild, you're in for a surprise. In the video, you can see how they set up this intense trap. First, they build a wooden fence structure around a shallow water area. Then, right at the opening of that fence, they place a hollow barrel leading through to the other side. On one end of the barrel, they tie up a live chicken as bait, and sure enough, before long, you see this enormous serpent silently gliding through the water, heading straight for the prey. As the snake gets closer, it slips its massive head through the barrel, but just as its head emerges on the other side, some ropes move and hold the snake in place. The anaconda starts thrashing and trying to escape, but it's too late. And that's how they catch one of the world's largest and strongest snakes. It's a dangerous process, but for researchers or professionals trying to study or relocate these massive creatures, it's an age-old method that's proven effective if done carefully. What's wild is just seeing how stealthy and powerful these snakes are. Would you ever dare try to catch an anaconda? There's a man on TikTok who's been getting a lot of attention lately for posting strange and intriguing footage online. In one particular video, he shows what looks like a furry orange creature hidden under a pile of leaves near the base of the tree. The way it's tucked away and the way he approaches it makes the whole scene feel mysterious. But then he goes on to do an entire series showing how he carefully uses a cloth to lift this creature, almost like he's rescuing it. He carries it home, places it in a box, and even pretends to care for it like a fragile little being. Naturally, the video blew up. People were obsessed, speculating on what kind of animal it could be. Some thought it was an undiscovered species, others said it looked like a forest spirit or cryptid. But here's the twist. It's completely fake. Turns out the creature is nothing more than a pillow or plush toy, and to be fair, if you visit the man's bio, he clearly states that he makes fake content, but a lot of viewers missed that completely. People got so caught up in the mystery that they didn't bother to check who this guy was. It became a perfect example of how easy it is to be fooled online.
Ó, o rabão dele, ó. Tira a mão, ó. Para!
Acho que ele tá comendo.
This next footage was shared by a security guard working the night shift at an apartment complex. He was doing his usual rounds, monitoring the security cameras from his desk when something unusual caught his eye. On the screen, he noticed a white, human-shaped figure standing eerily still at the end of the hallway, right in front of one of the apartment doors. The figure didn't move much, it just swayed gently, almost like it was caught in some kind of trance. Now, this man had been working at the building for a long time, and according to him, strange things happened there all the time. He's heard unexplained noises, seen lights flicker for no reason, and even had tenants report odd experiences. But this time, he finally managed to catch something on camera. After reviewing the footage again and again, he's now convinced that there's something not right in that building. What do you think? For the longest time, we've heard conspiracy theorists go on and on about the music industry and how deep, dark, manipulative it might really be. And while a lot of people dismiss these claims as far-fetched, they might not be entirely wrong. Take this claim for example. Some artists like XXX have said that the frequency of music affects our emotions. According to him, the vibrations in the songs we hear aren't just random. They're carefully chosen to influence how we feel, think, and even behave. It might sound wild at first, but there's actually a long history of this idea. Ancient cultures use certain frequencies for healing, meditation, and even hypnosis. So if it can be used for good, who's to say it can't be twisted and used for other purposes too? Now think about the XXX Temptation who passed away a few years ago. Some fans believe he was beginning to understand or reveal certain truths about energy, frequency, and how it connects to the mind, and that's why he was silenced. So do the top executives in the music industry not know about these things, or do they know exactly what they're doing? Because if music has the power to heal, then it definitely has the power to manipulate.
What's the point of music? Niggas don't know. It's not always to have fun. Sometimes it's to help people find themselves, because music is frequency programming. What frequency are you being fed? So I was playing with frequency. I was playing with equalizers. I figured out that hertz is to understand the frequency vibration, right? Kilohertz, megahertz. If I play with those frequencies, right, I can target certain parts of the mind, and I can literally, like, if I want you to astral project, right? Or if I want you to go to sleep, or if I want you to go into a meditative state, I can make my music do that.
Most Bigfoot footage out there shows the creature from a distance, either walking through the woods, peeking from behind a tree, or just standing still far away. But this one is very different. It was sent in by a young boy who'd been out walking alone one night near the edge of a wooded area. He said he started to feel strangely uneasy, like someone or something was watching him. So he pulled out his phone and began recording while looking around. Then, just as he turned to head back home, something emerged from the darkness behind him. You can only see it for a brief second, but that moment is very intense. A large, dark figure steps forward, covered in thick black fur, and it's huge. The movement looked like it was about to charge or reach out toward the boy, and that's when he let out a scream and took off running. Thankfully, he got away without being harmed, but when you watch the footage closely, it really does look like something big and powerful was lurking there. Some say it couldn't have been a person in a suit, but others believe this might be one of the clearest close-up encounters with Bigfoot ever caught on camera. What do you think?
Oh my God!
For years now, we've seen countless videos and conspiracy theories about so-called reptilians. Many dismiss them as camera glitches or tricks of the light, especially those strange face distortions we see on live TV. But for those who have been paying attention, there's a growing belief that these glitches might not be accidents, they might be evidence. Take a look at this footage.
Eliminamos vários ministérios da máquina pública. E ao mesmo tempo, nós não vamos parar por aí. Já estão encomendados.
It was taken during a live broadcast of a Brazilian politician giving a speech. Behind him stood a group of people. But as the politician began to talk, his face started to shift. Watch closely. You'll notice his nose narrow, his jaw tightens, and the structure of his face appears to contort right before the camera. And then he suddenly begins to cough. He raises his hand to cover his mouth, but his voice also changes, morphing into something that doesn't quite sound human. It's not a regular cough or someone losing their voice. It sounds deeper, almost like a guttural growl. Oddly enough, right after this happens, the camera angle changes. Instead of a close-up shot, the broadcast suddenly cuts to a wide view from the back of the room, as if trying to obscure what just happened. But even from that angle, you can see someone in the crowd freeze in place, clearly shocked by something they just witnessed, their eyes locked on the politician. Could this have been a coincidence or an attempt to hide something? Something about this just doesn't sit right. Watch it again and look closer. There might be more going on than we've been told.
Já estão encomendados. Dentro de uma pastilha. Já estão encomendados estudos para eliminar. Chega, é muito. Já estão.
A family had gone out one night, just a regular evening away from home. But when they returned, something strange was waiting for them. As they stood a short distance from their house, they noticed something unusual on the front of the porch. At first, it looked like a giant bird. You could clearly see what appeared to be large outstretched wings, almost like a hawk or raven perched there. But then things took a wild turn. Right before their eyes, the bird-like shape shifted into a smoky black mass that seemed alive, pulsing and moving unnaturally. And then suddenly it lifted off, soaring silently into the night sky and vanishing without a trace. You can hear the family freaking out behind the camera. They can't believe what they just saw. Now, not everyone is convinced by the footage. While the paranormal community is buzzing, calling this one of the most bizarre captures in a while, skeptics are raising eyebrows. Some say this could be AI-generated, especially with how fluid and unnatural the transformation looks. And honestly, that might be a possibility. These days, it's getting harder to tell what's real and what's digital anymore.
But if this is real, what exactly did they capture on camera? A shapeshift or a spirit, or something else entirely?
What the hell?
Hey. What is that? Look, it's just moving.
What am I looking at?
Scary. Hey.
A man was visiting what looked like either a car dealership or maybe a body shop, we're not exactly sure. But what happened there was definitely strange. He had his phone out filming as he walked between the cars. Then he got a little curious and brought his phone closer to one of the vehicle's LiDAR systems. It's those sensors used for self-driving or assisted driving technology. While still recording, his phone camera lens suddenly cracked. Yeah, the camera cracked on the spot, as if something invisible had hit it or pushed it against from the inside. There's no physical impact, no bump, no drop, just a sudden split in the glass while it was near the LiDAR. Can LiDAR actually cause that? Well, technically LiDAR uses concentrated laser pulses, usually in the infrared spectrum, and those lasers are not supposed to be strong enough to damage anything. But if the LiDAR is malfunctioning or emitting at a higher intensity than it's supposed to, or if it focuses tightly on a specific spot like a camera lens, there could be a risk. Camera sensors, especially in newer smartphones, can sometimes be sensitive to certain kinds of infrared radiation. In rare cases, strong infrared light can damage the camera's internal sensor or distort images, but cracking the actual glass, well, now that's unusual. Still, some users have reported weird glitches or heat-related damage after filming certain industrial lasers or intense light sources. So could LiDAR have caused this? Maybe, but it's rare. This next video was sent in by a fan through email, and what they captured is people scratching their heads. It came from a security camera set up outside their home. At first, everything looked normal, just a quiet night. But then a glowing creature suddenly flew into the frame by the tree. It lingered for just a moment before flying off just as quickly as it appeared. Now here's the thing. The creature was so bright, the only visible detail was what looked like its wings. It didn't have the body or shape of a bird or an insect. It was glowing too much to notice except for the featureless shining wings fluttering. Some people are saying it's just a butterfly or maybe light reflecting off the bug. I'm sure that's possible, but others aren't so convinced. A growing number of viewers believe this might actually have been a fairy. Yeah, the tiny winged beings we hear about in stories, but what do you think? In this unsettling footage from Haiti, captured by a surveillance camera, a seemingly routine visit to a convenience store takes a bizarre turn. As you can see, a man stands at the cashier ready to complete his purchase, and an unexplained force violently propels him to the floor. The impact is so forceful that he remains on the floor. In Haiti, beliefs in the supernatural and ancestral spirits are important, so the Haitian community, understanding spiritual matters, thinks that this might not just be an accident, but could be a type of spiritual payback or consequence for unknown actions. The footage is deemed legit, so it's hard to write it off as a hoax. While exploring the depths of a mineshaft, an explorer records a fascinating sight, a sizable bird gliding through the confined space. Onlookers faced with uncertainty consider different possibilities. Some propose it might be an owl or a bat. Owls are nocturnal birds of prey that are adapted to low-light conditions, and they might seek shelter in areas like mineshafts during the day. Bats, being nocturnal as well, often roost in dark places during daylight hours. Yet the captivating nature of the video invites speculation. Could it be more than just a typical creature of the dark? What if there's something more ominous happening, hiding in the depths of the mine? If you haven't already hit the like button, subscribed, or even dropped a comment so far, could you please do that now? It goes a long way to help us make more of these kinds of videos for you. Thank you so much. Now back to today's episode. In a chilling incident in the ocean, a woman's leisurely swim turned into a heart-pounding moment of danger. As she gracefully navigated the waves, the atmosphere shifted when concerned onlookers began frantically shouting warnings for her to exit the water. Caught off guard, the woman, fortunately not too far from the safety of the shore, responded promptly to the urgency in the voices around her. As she made her way to the beach, a collective gasp echoed through the bystanders. What emerged from the water was a dark shadow, unmistakably a shark, stealthily trailing her from a distance. That is why it's important to stay vigilant and respect the untamed environment of the sea, because encounters with marine life can swiftly transition from serene to potentially hazardous. Now let's have a dose of interdimensional action. This black hole appeared in the night sky. It has this white ring around it. What could it be? While pondering such events is intriguing, some people approach them with a scientific mindset, claiming that this could be just an illusion. Optical illusions, atmospheric occurrences, or celestial events can sometimes create visually stunning yet natural displays in the night sky. But this right here feels eerie and looks like a portal, some sort of gateway to another planet or dimension, or even alien transport to our world. Who knows? The UFO talk is just so prevalent these days. I won't be surprised if a saucer emerges from this black hole in the sky. Take a look at this footage. A man claims to have seen this strange-looking creature in his pond. Seeing it is one thing, but this man actually runs to catch it with a net. The strange-looking thing has a semblance of a turtle. It also looks like a human child in a turtle costume, if you ask me. It brings to mind the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but how could such things be? Honestly, I think this is a hoax. I mean, the possibilities of it being a hoax are endless. It could be a person in a costume or CGI. What do you think? The deep sea remains one of the most mysterious and least explored environments on Earth. In this footage, a strange creature was observed resembling the shape of a sperm, but with a distinctive purple color. Interestingly, the creature doesn't have visible eyes, adding to its mysterious appearance. The absence of discernible eyes raises questions about the creature's sensory adaptations and how it navigates the darkness of the deep-sea environment. If any one of you aqua enthusiasts knows what this might be, please do share it with the rest of us in the comments section. Now take a look at this creature right here. What would you do if you saw this in your house? There is no way I would sleep that night. It's a dog, clearly a dog, but there is a strangeness to its appearance that makes you feel uncomfortable. It's like a human, which is quite unusual. That is not a dog, I tell you. It's a skinwalker or something, because just look at this. Guys, am I just being paranoid, or do you see it too? If you thought that was odd, take a look at this one. As the leaves sway in the wind, this tree takes a strange shape, like it was some sort of creature. It looks more like a bear to me, which is quite the eerie spectacle. I know, it could just be my human trait to see familiar things in inanimate objects. If that's not the case and there's something more ominous happening here, then whoever lives where this is recorded needs to pay attention, don't you think? If you haven't already hit the like button, subscribed, or even dropped a comment so far, could you please do so now? It goes a long way to help us make more of these videos for you. Thank you so much. Now back to today's episode. A wildlife cam captured this huge crocodile. They say it's about 50 feet long or more. If it's true, this reptile is massive. Crocodiles are reptiles that can grow to impressive sizes. The largest species, the saltwater crocodile, Crocodylus porosus, holds the record for being the largest living reptile and can reach lengths of about 17 to 23 feet on average. Exceptional individuals have reported to reach lengths of around 25 feet, while a crocodile of around 50 feet would be at the extreme upper limit for known species. It's not entirely impossible, especially considering that crocodiles can vary in size and there may be larger individuals in certain populations. At least, that's what we theorize, but do share your thoughts. On the shores of an unidentified location, a mysterious and strange creature lies washed up on the shore. This creature is hard to categorize with its pale skin, round head, and a mix of features that seem both human-like and aquatic. It has hands that look like a human's with 4 claw-like fingers, while its lower half transforms into a fish-like shape. The creature is pretty as well. The puzzling nature of this creature leaves observers wondering where it came from and how it got to the shore. What combination of species could result in such a distinctive yet mysterious being? Please feel free to share your thoughts.
The possibility of life beyond Earth has always been an intriguing topic for many people. For years, scientists have used state-of-the-art equipment to search for signs of extraterrestrial life. Despite their efforts, there has been no definite proof that life forms exist, at least not one that has been made public yet. Recently, this video emerged and it sparked a new wave of interest in the possibility of life beyond Earth. The footage shows several crafts that appear to be floating above the moon's surface. These crafts have unique shapes and seem to be moving in the same direction. Now that's curious. What is the purpose of these crafts? Are they manned or unmanned? What kind of technology do they use? One of the commenters on the original post shared an interesting tale. He states that his father, who'd never believed in aliens, saw a ship through a telescope and was shocked. After what he saw, his dad became a believer. Now, there's no way of verifying this particular story, but there have been similar stories coming from all over the globe. Take a look at some of these comments. All these comments have to mean something. This video footage could be the proof that we have been looking for all along. It could be the evidence that definitely proves the existence of alien life beyond our planet. Despite the evidence, many believe it has to be false. They rationalize saying that what we are seeing was nothing more than ticks on a dirty lens. Some even suggested that they were ants. You've seen the clip and heard both sides, so what do you think is much closer to the truth? Share your thoughts in the comment section. Still on strange things in our sky, we've got this clip featuring a strange-looking cloud hovering in the sky, a little too close to the ground compared to the rest of the clouds. Much weirder, this particular cloud was darker and had some peculiar object sticking out of it. Anyone who is observant would obviously realize that this was definitely a cloud with something in it, or something using a cloud as cover. Much like the last Avatar scene where Aang uses a cloud as camouflage to hide the gang in Appa, I digressed. As humorous as that sounds, I was not the only one thinking about it. Many in the comments section thought so too. They said that the cloud was camouflage, hiding something that was cloaked behind aerogel. For those unfamiliar with it, aerogel is a unique material that's known for its extremely low density and highly porous structure. It's sometimes referred to as frozen smoke or solid air because of its translucent appearance and lightweight nature. In essence, it can look like this strange cloud. The substance is, however, quite rare, which will make having this amount quite strange. This has led to speculations that this could belong to one of two groups, the government or aliens. I know it sounds like a bit of a stretch, but do you have any other possible explanation for this? If you do, please share in the comments section. We love to read your hypothesis.
A trail camera in the woods took an unusual picture, showing a blurry shape hovering above the ground. The mysterious nature of this image has led to different interpretations among viewers. Some suggest a simple explanation, saying the blurry figure might be a moth, considering its relatively small size. On the other hand, a more supernatural view has come up, especially because of where the picture was taken, on a property in Missouri on a small rock burial mound. There are many speculations, with some considering the possibility that this ghostly presence could be some kind of entity silently moving through the mysterious landscape captured by the trail camera. A Reddit user went hiking with a partner and came across the bizarre and unexplained. On the hike, they took along with them a Polaroid camera to capture the fleeting moments of their journey. As they were walking through the forest, they encountered a peculiar post that was mounted on a path and labeled Dead End. The sign was put there because that path led to the highway. Curious about the spooky message, the couple took a picture of the post, hoping that it would embody the mysterious feeling of the journey. When the image was developed, however, the couple was shocked at what they saw. There was an actual ghostly apparition standing a little further away from the post. It was all black, yet was not a shadow. It was a dark human entity. The couple, confused by the sudden appearance of this mysterious thing, had questions on their minds. They didn't see this entity earlier when they took the photo, so how was it even possible? Most importantly, who or what could that be? Ghost of a victim who used that path, or maybe some mysterious being with unclear intentions?
I wish I could tell you those were the only strange things happening in our sky, but it gets stranger. Our next clip was captured in Ukraine, and it has left many people scratching their heads. In the video, a whitish-looking sheet-like object can be seen hovering in the sky with its top part bent forward. The atmosphere in the video appears to be quite foggy, which adds to the mysterious nature of the sighting. At first sight, many assume that the strange things going on in the sky might be some sort of weather anomaly or unusual cloud formation. For those on the ground, that would have made sense, but those on the higher planes or buildings like the one recording saw what was really happening. They saw what you see on your screen. Spooked, they uploaded it and then sent some of the paranormal communities into a frenzy. Many had differing views on what could be going on. Some viewers speculated that the object was a blue beam projection, while others suggested that it was simply a mark on a glass window from which the footage was recorded. Interestingly, one viewer even used the alien emoji, implying that they thought the object was of extraterrestrial origin. Given the unusual appearance of the object and the varied opinions surrounding it, it's difficult to say with certainty what the footage shows. It would, however, be unwise to downplay any of the comments, since they are basically possible until proven otherwise. Unless, of course, the clip is fake, but that too has to be proven. Recently, this video was circulating on social media, and it shows strange glowing creatures floating in the sky with a luminous trail behind them. Some people are wondering if these creatures are angels, while others are skeptical and suggest that the video may be a clever hoax created using CGI. Angels are celestial beings that have been part of various religious and mythological traditions for centuries. They're often depicted as messengers or intermediaries between the divine realm and humanity, tasked with guiding and protecting people on their spiritual journeys. In the Christian faith, angels are believed to be God's messengers, while in the Islamic faith, angels are considered to be created from light and serve as intermediaries between Allah and humanity. The concept of angels is prevalent in many cultures worldwide, including Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Zoroastrianism, and others. Each culture has its own beliefs and interpretations of angels, such as the number of angels that exist or their specific roles in the divine hierarchy. What do you think of them, especially those in the clip?
Next, we have footage from a homeowner whose everyday review of her camera footage led to something rather disturbing. In the footage, you can see the woman walking away from the house, presumably leaving the premises. However, what happens next is anything but ordinary. As soon as she is out of sight, a ghostly figure materializes into view, seemingly from thin air. This spectral entity moves with otherworldly grace, nonchalantly passing by the trash cans before making its way into the house. Why does this ghost visit? Is it a wandering spirit looking for comfort? Could it be someone who lived on the property? Or did it come with something more malevolent in its plans? It's hard to say, but the strange way it comes in, waiting for the homeowner to leave, makes the mystery even more mysterious, if you know what I mean. On the slopes of Wasatch Mountain, this unusual scene was recorded. A creature unknown to anyone was seen running on the steep mountainside. Mind you, at the time it had snowed heavily, so the mountain was steep and impossible for someone to run on it. This led them to believe that could be a Bigfoot out there. So with that in mind, they sent a helicopter to search the mountain slopes for more evidence. As the helicopter circled overhead, there it was, a figure that matched the description of Bigfoot moving on the mountainside. While skeptics may explain the sightings as optical illusions or misinterpretations, enthusiasts and believers in cryptozoology find such evidence compelling. They see it as a step closer to unraveling the mysteries surrounding these creatures. In this interesting water meeting, there's a mysterious black creature that looks like a snail without a shell. Many who saw it proposed that it might be a sea slug or a similar sea creature. Sea slugs, scientifically called nudibranches, are a varied group of shellless sea snails. Normally they live in salt water, so finding them in freshwater or swampy places is unusual. Is it possible that this is a species we haven't discovered yet, or does it possess characteristics that make us rethink what we know about marine life? Nature is a constant source of awe and sometimes even a bit of fear. In this footage, massive rocks from the seashore mysteriously start moving toward the land, overtaking the rails and encroaching onto the street. Mind you, this is not an edited footage. Just look at how the people around are mesmerized by it and are keenly taking videos of it. But if it's not edited, what could we be dealing with? We can't say with certainty which it is, but Julius has a few theories for us. According to him, the movement of rocks along the shoreline can be ascribed to the persistent forces of waves and tides shaping the coasts with their rhythmic movements. Another explanation could involve geological events like landslides, orchestrating the fascinating migration of these rocks and highlighting the constantly changing nature of Earth's landscapes. These are all the theories we got from him, but what do you also think? Starting a day like any other, a man became fascinated by an unusual sight in the sky. Initially thinking the flying objects were just regular birds, maybe geese flying together, a closer look revealed a more puzzling story. Zooming in for a better view, the observer was met with a truly extraordinary scene. These creatures, far from the usual birds, had huge wings that looked like those of a bat, but on a massive scale. The sheer size and otherworldly appearance sparked imagination and curiosity, making people wonder about fantastical possibilities. Could these mysterious entities be dinosaurs or perhaps even dragons? These days, don't be shy to lean toward the supernatural or fiction because things are just so bizarre. Just a quick reminder before the next clip comes, if you still haven't liked, commented, or subscribed, could you do so right now? Thank you very much. In a peculiar encounter captured on footage, a curious individual stumbles upon a shelled creature resembling a crab.
Yo, what the fuck is this thing? Crab? Coral?
As the observer approaches the creature, it emits a peculiar sound, creating an unusual auditory experience. Simultaneously, the camera captures vibrations and becomes blurred. Some who have seen the footage believe that the creature wields electromagnetic powers. Looking at the footage, I'm tempted to think the same.
Crab? Coral?
What do you guys think, though? Is this one of those cases, or am I seeing stuff that isn't there? This next clip comes all the way from an icy mountain in the coded location. Pay attention to it. You see it, don't you? The silhouette of a person. Being able to make out the person from that distance is quite remarkable. And by that, this is what I mean. A human would have been barely visible, but this person or being stands out, which could only mean he's not normal human size, but ginormous. Is this evident of giants, or could it be the legendary Yeti? Delving deeper into the intrigue, some theorists suggest a conspiracy surrounding the existence of giants, proposing that these colossal beings may have a clandestine presence in remote regions. Speculations range from ancient myths and legends to alleged cover-ups by secretive organizations aiming to keep the existence of giants hidden from the public eye. What do you think, though? Skinwalkers are shape-shifting creatures. They can take the form of any being and live among us. However, there is a subtle detail that gives away their true nature. Take a look at this footage. For instance, someone captured this dog on the street, and it looks like your everyday dog. But a closer look and you'll notice something uncanny about its appearance. Did you see it? Yeah, many who saw the footage believed that this could be a skinwalker attempting to imitate a dog but missing the mark, particularly in the eyes. If that's true, then this woman has got to get this thing away from her. What do you think, though? Encountering the unknown can be both fascinating and disconcerting, and in this particular instance, a man stumbles upon a mysterious creature in a river.
What in the world you all? Well, we gonna get you out this water. Somebody let me know, what is this? This half turtle?
The creature has a body like a turtle and a face that mixes fish-like features with small black eyes, making it a distinct and possibly hybrid specimen. The combination of these characteristics leads to questions of its origin. Is it a hybrid of both worlds? A whimsical creation intended to merge the characteristics of both land and water animals? Or something entirely different? Without further details about the location, scientific examination, or expert analysis, it's challenging to ascertain the true nature of this enigmatic creature. Nature is known for its diversity, occasionally presenting us with surprises that challenge our understanding of the living world. What if, instead of nature, man created this thing? Now, these things you see were captured in the sky. They are two round patches of white cloud-looking things in the sky. These strange things keep blinking rays toward the Earth. They look like some sort of portals. However, an interesting observation is made. The footage seems to have been taken through a glass window. This leads some to theorize that what appears to be otherworldly portals could be reflections rather than genuine celestial phenomena. What do you think?
Throughout history, dinosaurs have remained a topic of fascination for humanity. Even today, their existence and extinction continues to captivate our imagination. To unlock the mysteries surrounding these magnificent creatures, archaeologists have studied cave paintings dating back several centuries. This leads us to a cave located in Borneo's East Kalimantan province. Here, scientists have found the oldest figurative painting in the world. The painting is of wild cattle and is estimated to be around 40,000 years old. The painting is part of a larger panel with other animal paintings, stencils, and designs, and was made using iron oxide pigment. The cave Lubang Jerichi Sala has thousands of rock art images, providing insight into the ancient history of our planet and the creatures that used to walk the earth. They aren't just rough sketches hastily thrown together. Oh no, these are intricate depictions painstakingly crafted using iron oxide pigment, with every scale and contour lovingly rendered for all to behold. Discoveries like this help researchers learn even more about our past. While those ones are easier to understand, there are also paintings like these that have scientists scratching their heads. The one who posted it refused to tell us where it's from, but a quick look at these images and you can tell they're depicting dinosaurs. But how? Aren't dinosaurs supposed to have died off millions of years ago? How is it our distant ancestors had images of them? This naturally led to a lot of debate on the paranormal platforms. Some thought this was proof that the dinosaurs still walk amongst us. Some people thought this was proof of the Hollow Earth theory, which has been visualized in modern cinema using the recent King Kong and Godzilla movie. As the debate raged on, one member of the paranormal community made a profound statement. He stated that our ancestors could have found their remains in much better shape than we have found today, which is why they could have such vivid drawings of them. When you think about it, well, that's actually logical. Is that the case, though? Until research in this area advances, we will never know for sure. But what do you think? Above the clouds, an interesting object was captured that left many wondering what it could be. The object has a unique shape with a horizontal top and a vertical part that resembles a hammer, starting from the middle downwards. It floated above the clouds for some time, casting a shadow on the clouds below. As it slowly descended into the clouds, it gradually vanished from view. The mysterious object left many wondering about its origin and purpose. Some believe it was a UFO, while others think it may have been a weather balloon or some other type of experimental aircraft. More outlandish theories propose that it was an interdimensional being or even a top-secret military craft. What do you think it is?
In an unusual scene in Africa, a man comes across a tree that is different from the usual ones. This tree has eggs instead of the typical fruits. The man then picks these unusual eggs from the branches and brings them inside for a closer look. When he cracks open the eggs, a surprising discovery is made. There are seeds inside the shells. Undeterred, the man decides to cook these unconventional eggs by frying them in hot oil. The process unfolds similar to regular eggs, leaving viewers both intrigued and puzzled. This whimsical event brings a mix of amusement and skepticism, as the man seems to have a tree that produces eggs. I mean, he's got a literal eggplant in his house. Either that, or it's sorcery, or a fake. Still in the eerie realm of the supernatural, a backyard security camera becomes an unwitting witness to a bone-chilling spectacle. In the middle of the day, in the bright sunlight, a dark figure quickly moves across the scene. Unlike fading smoke wisps, this appearance is much more mysterious. Yes, another dark entity. Usually we link paranormal sightings to nighttime situations, making people curious about this strange daytime appearance. Yet this looks like an exception. The unclear nature of the entity makes the mystery even bigger. Is it a harmful force, or maybe it's something completely different, possibly even something good?
The recent eclipse that occurred on April the 8th, 2024 in the US has been a topic of discussion among many people. However, new footage has emerged that has raised some questions and theories about the authenticity of the event. In the footage, an individual can be seen using paper eyeglasses to observe the sky, and an eclipse appears to be taking place. However, the footage takes a strange turn when the individual takes off the glasses and moves the camera to show what's happening on the other side of the sky. And guess what? There's no eclipse on the other side. It's just a blue sky with the moon. You and I know that's not possible. Naturally, this has led to several questions being asked, such as how is it possible for an eclipse to appear on one side of the sky but not on the other side? This has led to various theories that the government may be involved in faking natural occurrences. Some even posted comments like this. Some even thought we were looking at a different planet altogether. The government isn't the only one being questioned, though. The authenticity of the footage is also being questioned. A number of individuals actually suspect that the clip has been edited. They even called the edit a poor one that failed to convince. Now, I understand their sentiments. We've never heard of a half-night, half-day sky. The video also does a poor job of convincing us that it's real, but perhaps that's just me subconsciously taking a side in all this. You've seen the clip. What do you also think? Tell us in the comments section. In 2011, the Ocean X team, a Swedish treasure hunting team, discovered this mysterious object on the seabed of the Baltic Sea. This object was called the Baltic Sea Anomaly. Naturally, this incident gained attention at the time. Initial sonar images of the anomaly revealed a large circular object about 60 meters in diameter, with features that appeared to be of artificial origin. Further investigation using underwater cameras and diving expeditions revealed additional details, including strange stone formations and linear tracks that resemble drag marks. This anomaly was never figured out, so led to a lot of debate. Some suggested that it could be a sunken ship, a natural rock formation, or even extraterrestrial in nature. Despite extensive study, scientists have been unable to determine the exact nature and origin of the Baltic Sea anomaly.
In the surreal landscapes near the Fresno Manizales route, an enigmatic spectacle unfurls near the formidable Cerro Bravo. An apparent crack in the rocks shows a strange glow inside, similar to what we see near active volcanoes about to erupt. Active or potentially active volcanoes can exhibit various signs, including emissions of gases, steam, or even incandescent material. Could this be one of those instances? Julius thinks so. Aaron, however, thinks the Earth gods are made and the hue is simply a confirmation of that. I'm leaning more toward Julius's explanation, as that sounds more plausible. Hopefully local authorities saw the video and took appropriate actions. If not, this would be nothing more than a ticking time bomb. It's fascinating how mysteries of the ocean often captivate our imagination. In this footage, a curious observer capturing the beauty of the ocean stumbled upon an intriguing sight. Far beyond the shore, something was seen moving rapidly in the sea. The movement was too swift to be your typical fish and seemed to follow a straight trajectory. This looks like some sort of craft. Some people say it might be a submarine, but the strange thing seems to be moving on the surface, assuming regular submarine behavior is questionable. On the other hand, more imaginative voices suggest it could be an alien spacecraft. What do you think?
This one is definitely not me being paranoid. You see it too, don't you? It appears to be some huge octopus caught in a tango with the pillar. Its tentacles are moving all around the structure, which makes you wonder what exactly it's doing in such an unusual place. The mysterious situation with the octopus and its decision to interact with the pillar has led to a speculation. Some people suggest that the video might be AI generated, while others think it's the real deal.
Is a beautiful drone shot. The kind of video that you might see in a travel video, right? Except it's not real.
AI-generated content has become advanced, making it hard to tell what's real and what's created digitally. The chance of AI involvement bringing in some uncertainty, making viewers question whether the scene is genuine. What do you make of it though, AI or real? Here we have another thing to ponder about. There are ancient beliefs in various cultures about sacred trees that should not be cut down. Some believe them to be reincarnations of their ancestors, while others believe them to be gods or whatnot. In this footage, a man comes across a tree with blood-like liquid coming out of it. I know there is a scientific explanation for this, but let's play the devil's advocate for a minute. What if this tree is one of those sacred trees? Think about it. Just a quick reminder before the next clip comes, if you still haven't liked, commented, or subscribed, could you do so right now? You wouldn't want me to send a giant or a big lizard or an alien after you now, would you? The magical world of insects introduces another wonder, the pink wing phasma. This captivating creature, part of the phasmid family, possesses a special charm that mesmerizing those lucky enough to come across it. With gentle grace, the insect rests on the observer's palm, displaying its detailed wings adorned with a subtle pink tint. Feeding on the leaves of different eucalypt tree species, these creatures mainly inhabit the expansive landscape of Australia. The intricate patterns and captivating colors on its wings turn this already intriguing insect into a living masterpiece, encouraging us to appreciate the beauty of nature's creations. Take a look at this spectacle that happened in Russia. The clouds in the sky appeared to split in two, forming a clear blue path above. This sight has led to different interpretations and guesses from those who saw it. Even people who have scientific explanations are torn between two ideas. One idea suggests that the phenomena could be caused by using vibrations to push away water molecules in the air. This is considered a way of controlling the weather in a cold climate area using nature and human intervention to influence atmospheric conditions. The other party suggests that this is a natural atmospheric phenomena known as a fall streak hole or hole punch cloud. These formations happen when very cold water droplets in a cloud turn into ice crystals. These ice crystals then fall out of the cloud, making a hole or gap in the layer of clouds, in this case, a path in the clouds. However, some are convinced that this might be something beyond our comprehension, something more supernatural, albeit they can't say what exactly. What do you guys think of this? Sailing across the wide open sea is an adventure full of challenges and sometimes amazing moments. In this footage, some voyagers on a huge ship in the middle of the ocean come across this huge iceberg. At least, that's what the audio suggests.
We hit some ice. Oh my god! Oh my god! Whoa!
Icebergs are formidable natural formations that demand respect and careful navigation to avoid any potential mishaps. From what we heard in the background, the ships did hit the iceberg, but luckily it wasn't something that caused any harm to the people or the ship. Personally, when I look at it, I don't see an iceberg. No, it looks like some sort of sea creature, but you guys can let me know what you think of the whole thing. Perhaps it's my paranoia at it again. A diver was on a seabed underwater going about his business when this curious fella came poking its nose in his business. Now, what fish is this? It's pretty big with a huge forehead and very noticeable lips. I guess it's not predatory because it doesn't attack the diver. Julius whispered the answer into my ears, but I think this might do well as trivia. Do you know what this is? Kindly tell us in the comments section and do well to include an interesting fact about them. A man accidentally spilt his drink on the tiled floor, but what happened next was completely unexpected. As the liquid seeped into the cracks between the tiles, tiny, red, wiggling things began to emerge. They looked like they wanted to crawl out from beneath the tiles.
Intrigued, the man took a closer look, but as soon as he stepped on the tile, the tiny creatures vanished, slithering back behind the tiles. What could they be? Is there something living beneath the floor? A man was out for a nighttime walk when he noticed something strange in the sky. It was a large group of tiny white objects hovering and moving in unison. He started filming, puzzled by what he was seeing. At first glance, it looked like a flock of birds, but he soon realized that the objects didn't behave like any birds he'd ever seen before. Instead of flapping wings or scattering randomly, these white dots moved in a tight, coordinated formation, gliding smoothly across the sky. Many viewers speculate that this could be a new kind of UFO phenomenon. Typically, when people see UFOs, they report single objects or lights in different shapes like disks, orbs, or even triangular formations. But this is a swarm of small, light-like objects moving in harmony. That's something entirely different. What do you think they could be?
Still on UFOs discovered in the ocean, take a look at this one. This discovery was made by a team of explorers exploring the ocean depths. Now, when you look at it, it looks like a rusty saucer that's been left in the ocean for years, if not millennia. Upon closer inspection, the explorers noticed that it had intricate designs etched all over its surface. Although there is limited information available about this saucer, its discovery provides concrete evidence that there is some form of technology out there that does not belong to humans. If the footage is to be believed, then the professor in the previous clip might just have been right. Given the age we live in, though, the possibility of computer manipulation and CGI cannot be ruled out, even though the saucer appears to be eerily real. Many in the paranormal community did share their thoughts on the discovery. A number of them were skeptical. One person thought it was nothing more than a large seashell, but a closer look will show it's definitely not. Some even made fun of those who posted the clip. Despite the skepticism, however, some thought it might be real, just not what we're making it out to be, say a submerged submarine. However, I doubt any of the military submarines look anything like this. Some also stated it could be a UFO since they don't rust. Despite the skepticism, many held onto the belief it was a UFO. Some even called it a USO, that is, an identified submersible object. Having seen it yourself, share your personal observations. A strange wave anomaly was detected off the coast of Africa, causing a global stir on April 10, 2024. The anomaly was first detected by Ventusky, a meteorological app developed by the Czech company Inmedio. The app uses animated arcs to differentiate between wind waves and swells, giving users real-time insights into weather phenomena. The anomaly consisted of a cluster of waves that were over 80 feet high and spanned 2,000 miles, which is larger than the state of Texas. It appeared and lasted for around 24 hours before disappearing. This caught the attention of many people on social media platforms, including X, formerly Twitter, and YouTube. MRMBB333, a prominent figure in the exploration of unexplained phenomena, analyzed the anomaly in a YouTube video using Zoom Earth satellite maps to measure its dimensions. The anomaly's vast scale, larger than entire African nations and twice the size of Texas, inspired humorous and speculative responses from viewers. Many people speculated that such a large formation could only have been created by a subaquatic entity and dubbed it an unidentified submersible object, or USO, similar to a UFO but beneath the waves. Others imagined a huge sea creature like the fictional Cthulhu or an alien vessel lurking under the water. However, Newsweek's investigations revealed a more mundane explanation, attributing the anomaly to a model error. Despite the disappointment from those hoping for a more exciting explanation, the event remains a fascinating meteorological phenomenon that captured the attention of millions around the world. But what do you think? Was it just an error, as they say, or are they hiding something?
A man set out to ski in a clearing after a heavy snowstorm. It was the perfect setting, fresh and pristine. But as he prepared to hit the slopes, something caught his eye in the wooded area across the field. There, partially hidden behind a tree, was the silhouette of what looked like a woman. Dark and motionless, the figure's body was visible, but the face was obscured by the tree. The strange part? The figure never moved. It simply stood there, watching. Or at least that's how it felt. Unnerved, the man decided to abandon his ski plans and head back home. Could it have been a shadow, a trick of the light, or something else entirely? In an isolated, snowy landscape, seeing something like that would send chills down anyone's spine. What do you think it could be? If you've been on this channel all year, you might be familiar with some strange orange orbs we shared that have been captured around the globe. Well, they return again in this next clip. Take a look. A home security camera captured something mysterious in a backyard that bordered a wooded area. In the footage, a bright orb appeared, floating slowly from the left side of the screen to the center. It hovered there for a while, almost as if observing the area, then calmly floated back to the left and disappeared from view. What could this be? Some might say it's a bug or a dust particle reflecting light, but its movement and brightness seem unusual. Others speculate that it could be a spirit orb, a phenomenon often associated with paranormal activity. The theories are endless, but one thing's certain: no one knows for sure what we are dealing with. Do you?
This clip comes from Sequoia Park, California. It shows another strange sky phenomenon.
Is it a cross? Heck no, it's not a cross. What is that? Like a... Whoa. Let me see it. Dude, it looks like a dude in a suit. It looks like Iron Man.
At first glance, it appears to be some kind of glowing figure floating in the air. The entity seems to have a head, arms, and legs, and it's surrounded by a distinct and noticeable glow. The people behind the camera who filmed the video were convinced that they'd witnessed a superhuman or an alien. However, when the video was posted online, some commenters suggested that it might be a hologram, and the term blue beam projection was mentioned once again. It's difficult to determine what exactly is happening in the video and whether it's real or a hoax. The possibility of a hologram or a government conspiracy cannot be ruled out, but as always, there's little evidence to suggest that's the case. The only thing we can do now is speculate and hypothesize on what this might be. You have seen the clip. What's your hypothesis?
What the heck? Jonathan, what in the world? Probably the super...
Look behind you. Insane. Whoa, did you see that just shoot across? Did anyone else see that?
This next clip is proof of that. I mean, how much of a coincidence can it really be when a similar phenomenon was experienced in another part of the world not too long after it had been seen in Korea? A man was filming the stunning coastal scenery when he witnessed the extraordinary event. Unlike Korea, however, there appeared to be lightning in the sky. While many were distracted by it, a bright object suddenly appeared and streaked across the sky with immense speed almost without being seen. If the man behind the camera was not filming, it may have been missed. It's not clear why this was bright and the Korean one was dark. To add to the mystery, the exact location of the sighting is not known. Comments flooded in on the post from intrigued viewers with their theories about the object. Some suggested it could be the Air Force, but upon closer inspection, it didn't seem to be a human-made object. I mean, there was not much to inspect, but when did we started traveling at light speeds with ships made up of light? Exactly. Another theory was that it was a missile, but missiles tend to have a visible trail of fire behind them, whereas this object was all bright like a luminous entity or something else entirely. Also, I don't think missiles affect the atmosphere like this one did. The possibilities of what this object could be are endless. Many still hold on to the fact that it could be something of extraterrestrial origin, while others think, that's just loony. They don't see anything beyond a weather phenomenon here. But what about you? What do you see?
This next footage comes from Brooklyn, New York, and it's eerie to say the least. On top of a towering building, a dark, shadowy figure appears to be perched, watching over the city. It stayed there, motionless, for a few moments before suddenly taking off and disappearing into the night sky. This entity doesn't have a distinct shape, more like a vertical dark mass. It's unsettling to think about, as it raises questions about whether we are truly alone in this world. Could other unknown entities or creatures be sharing our space hidden just out of sight? The way it simply flew off, almost as if it had some purpose or mission, makes this even more mysterious. What could this be? A spirit? An unknown creature, or something else entirely? I guess we will never really know. Train wheels are quite different from those on most vehicles, and there's a fascinating reason for it. To demonstrate this, a man created a miniature train track model to show how these unique wheels work. He began with a set of cylindrical wheels, which were smooth and had no taper. As he tested the model on the track, the wheels struggled to stay on course, often veering off the rails. Then he swapped out the cylindrical wheels for conical ones. This time, the model held firmly to the track, gliding smoothly without slipping off. The conical shape of train wheels is crucial because it allows them to stay balanced and centered on the tracks even at high speeds or in turns. By having a slightly tapered design, these wheels can self-correct when a train moves side to side. When a train shifts to one side, the wheel's conical profile causes the outer wheel to roll on a large diameter than the inner one, helping the train return to its central position. This remarkable engineering keeps real trains securely on their paths, demonstrating the effectiveness of this unique design.
Speaking of aliens, this was sent in by a subscriber. They had retrieved this from their security camera. Take a look. As the camera oversees the house, in a few seconds, there it is, and a strange object flies by. What was that? When you take a closer look, it doesn't look like any insect, but looks more like a miniature craft. Are we dealing with some tiny alien beings, or could it be a drone belonging to aliens? I know it sounds ridiculous, but we can't rule anything out at this point. Either way, do share your thoughts in the comments section. In this intriguing footage, trees are seen swaying in response to the forceful wind, a common occurrence during windy weather. A closer look at the ground reveals an unexpected phenomena. It appears as though the roots of the trees are lifting off the ground as the wind blows. How is such a sight even possible? Trees usually stay firmly in place because of their roots, which go into the ground to give them stability and support. Seeing these roots lifting off the ground goes against what we know about how trees are securely anchored. Could they be fake? Could it be that the roots aren't deep? What's your take on the whole thing? Back in 2019, a man stumbled upon a series of massive footprints while exploring southeast Indiana. He couldn't believe what he was seeing. These weren't ordinary footprints. The impressions were about 6 inches wide, 18 inches long, and 4 inches deep, as if something incredibly heavy had made them. The track spanned a stretch of the ground, with each footprint spaced a full 70 inches apart, suggesting an enormous stride. He counted around 8 prints in total, though he managed to capture only 2 in photos. Take a look at these prints. The definition is remarkable. You can see the toes in the outline as if whatever made them left behind a clear imprint of its foot. The scale of these prints doesn't align with any known animal in the area, but they closely match the reported sightings of a massive 8-foot-tall Sasquatch-like creature. And the man who found these tracks had actually spotted a Sasquatch himself in the same area not long before. What do you think? Is this compelling evidence of Bigfoot, or could there be another reason for these mysterious prints? This footage was captured by a home surveillance camera set up outside overlooking the property. In the dead of night, a mysterious figure appeared, walking across the yard. Just as quickly as it arrived, it vanished into thin air. The figure was small, almost resembling a waddling toddler, but it moved in a way that seemed strange, not quite natural. Some say it might just be a trick of the light, but skeptics believe there might be something more to this eerie sighting. What do you think this could be? Our next footage is an interesting one. In the clip, someone takes a dead fingerling and dips it into the sand. Suddenly, a peculiar insect emerges from the sand, eagerly nipping at the fish. The observer swiftly seizes the creature with a pair of pliers, revealing a remarkable find. This is not an ordinary bug, this is a beachworm. Beachworms are marine worms that are often found in sandy coastal areas. They can range in size and appearance, with some species resembling long snake-like creatures. These worms are known for burrowing into the sand and may come to the surface when triggered by certain stimuli, such as the presence of food. Have you encountered any of these worms before? Care to share your experience? In this security camera video shared by a viewer from Barry, West Bromwich, England, we're introduced to something rather strange. A person wearing a reflective hoodie is jogging, and from the other side, a spooky figure appears. Both keep jogging, but the ghost-like figure disappears halfway through the recording. This was raw footage, so those thinking it's a hoax, it's not. We just witnessed a ghost jog by a house. These entities really are among us. Instances like these caught on camera without any manipulation spark contemplation about the supernatural and the possibility of entities existing alongside us. During a road trip, a woman decided to pull over and take a break. She parked her car and walked a few steps away when she noticed something unusual on the ground. It looked like a thick black substance, almost like engine oil. At first, she thought a car might be leaking, but then something strange happened. The dark, oily-looking substance started to shift, almost like it was alive. It moved across the ground in a way that didn't seem natural at all. Could it have been some kind of strange living matter, or maybe an unknown type of liquid reacting to the environment? A man was out hunting in the woods, listening carefully for the sound of movement when he heard some leaves rustling. He thought he had finally spotted his game, but what he saw instead was far more unsettling. Above a bush, there was a blurry, almost transparent shape. It looked as though something was trying to camouflage itself, blending in with the surroundings. Despite its attempt to remain hidden, you could still make out its presence. What could this be? A cloaked alien, some kind of advanced military technology, or something else entirely? I guess we will never really know. Anyone who's subscribed to this channel knows we love our big guy. In fact, there are lots of clips on this channel featuring the big guy. There are some that were very convincing and some we flat out thought had to be false. We thought we'd seen it all until this clip was sent to us.
Oh my gosh, please tell me you're getting this. Are you getting this? Yeah, I'm videotaping it. Oh my gosh, this is insane.
Yes, that's a relatively short clip by our Bigfoot standards, but did you guys notice something? The big guy was not walking or moving slowly and steadily like we're used to. Even the calculated walk was not seen. The big guy appears to be somewhat leaping, and that's a first for us. In fact, we weren't the only ones who thought so. We did some digging around, and it turns out that this was filmed in 2015. The reason it looks blurry is because it has been zoomed in several times over and brightened to reveal the Bigfoot, which was quite a distance from the one who took the clip. Apparently, there was a lot of skepticism on the legitimacy of the clip once it hit the internet, since many people believe Bigfoots don't move that fast. They even nicknamed the creature the Leaping Yeti. Although they didn't think it was a Bigfoot, they agreed that the creature was real. Even though it's not been seen since, it remains one of the most intriguing clips among the Russian paranormal and cryptid community. While we're used to a certain definition of Bigfoot, do you think it's possible that there's a creature out there the size of Bigfoot that moves like that? We can't confirm or dismiss it without further evidence, but you can at least share your thoughts, and we'll be glad to hear them.
What is that? Oh my gosh, please tell me you're getting this. Are you getting this? Yeah, I'm videotaping it. Oh my gosh, this is insane.
이 설왕설래를 낳고 있던데 수많은 목격담도 이어지고 있고 말이죠. 자, 그런데 오늘은
Next, we have this footage from Korea that was captured on the 8th of April 2024. This was during the eclipse that was not readily visible from Seoul, Korea. In this footage, a mysterious object zooms across the sky, leaving viewers astonished. The video, captured by a golfer, shows a dark, unidentified object appearing suddenly and then disappearing as quickly as it did. The object's remarkable speed and agility surpass typical aircraft or drones, which is very curious. The footage caught the attention of the news, which dubbed it a UAP, unidentified aerial phenomenon. Despite attempts to analyze and enhance the footage, the object remains elusive, appearing as a blur due to its rapid movement. Some have naturally assumed it's a spacecraft taking advantage of the eclipse, while others think it might be something else entirely. Regardless, no one truly knows what's happening, and with no concrete evidence or definitive explanations, the true nature of this UAP remains unknown. We have reason to, however, believe that that's not the first time whatever it was has zoomed through the atmosphere.
Oh, come out so I can see you. Come out. Come on. Come out.
A family living on a tribal reserve in Alberta, Canada, had an unsettling experience one evening. They were inside their home when they began hearing strange sounds coming from outside, so they stepped onto their porch with a camera, trying to locate the source. The noise was a strange gurgling sound that seemed to echo through the trees. What made it even more chilling was the way the sound seemed to taunt them, almost as if it was calling them out to play. Despite their efforts, they couldn't see anything in the dense forest surrounding their home. The family eventually called the police hoping for answers, but even the officers upon arriving experienced the same eerie sounds with no sign of a source. On the reserve, it's common to hear stories about mysterious creatures believed to inhabit the woods, passed down through native lore. Could this have been one of those legendary beings?
Come on up. Come on. Hey, just off.
Still on Strange Finds and Captures, this image was shared by a man who captured what appears to be a mysterious creature walking across a clearing in front of a dense forest. The creature is bipedal, covered in brown fur, and has a domed head, traits that match the classic description of Bigfoot. Once this image found its way online, it started a debate. Some thought it was the real deal, while others felt it was a man in a costume. Those who felt it was real referred to the way the entire body is built, especially the thighs. According to them, even a man in a costume couldn't feel those thighs or walk in that stride. Looking at it again, I get where they're coming from, but what do you guys think? Do they have a point, or is this just a really good costume?
Vegans, this isn't hate, but with all the beliefs centered around being cruelty-free and not harming living things, here's a reality check. Scientists have now confirmed that plants are, in fact, sentient. Yes, you heard that right. Plants react to touch, light, water, and their surroundings. They communicate, they defend themselves, and they are far more complex than we once thought. And here's the twist for you, dear vegans. You consume them in their raw state, unlike meat, which is no longer alive when eaten. Those vegetables and greens, well, they're still alive when you chop, blend, and munch on them. So what now? How does this fit into your no-harm ethos? This raises the question, where do we draw the line on what's acceptable to consume? Something to think about the next time you're picking up that salad. This mysterious footage was captured in Ukraine, and what appears in the video has left many people puzzled. A glowing orb seemingly out of nowhere appeared in the sky. It hovered and floated silently, casting an eerie glow over the area before eventually vanishing without a trace. The orb's movement and the way it flickered in the sky have led to countless theories. Some believe it could be a UFO or a visitor from another world. Others think it might be a rare, unexplained natural phenomenon. What do you think? Is this glowing orb a sign of extraterrestrial life, or is there another explanation for this mysterious sighting?
Here we have another intriguing piece of security footage, this time captured something unusual flying by. It appeared to be some sort of jellyfish-like object moving across the sky. What makes this especially fascinating is the way it moves. It does not have that fluid, pulsating motion typical of the jellyfish UFOs. This has made many skeptical. Some think it's nothing but CGI, while others think it's a drone delivering a package. What do you think, though? Could this be an extraterrestrial, or is this a case of mistaken identity? A man was home alone with his toddler daughter, capturing her first time standing on her own. He took out his phone to record the moment, but what he captured was something far more unsettling. As he filmed, his attention was drawn to a round ornamental mirror hanging on the wall. In the mirror's reflection, a dark figure could be seen walking past. It was brief but undeniable. Yet when he turned to check, no one else was there. He was completely alone. What makes this even stranger is that there was no shadows in the room to suggest someone was physically present. Paranormal enthusiasts often say that mirrors hold significant spiritual energy, sometimes acting as portals or windows to other realms. Could this mirror have captured an entity passing through the house, or was it something else entirely? Well, some in the paranormal community believe it's the Hat Man. But let's just hear your thoughts.
This image was taken by Leo Frank years ago, and it has sparked endless debates ever since. The creature captured in this photo has both human and non-human characteristics that have left people puzzled. Just take a close look. Its massive nose, rugged face, and thick hair covering its entire body make it look like something straight out of folklore. Leo Frank, upon encountering the mysterious figure, estimated its height to be at least 7 feet, if not taller. He described it as a wild man, sparking speculation that it might be related to Bigfoot or even an undiscovered species. However, not everyone agrees with this assessment. Critics argue that this creature isn't Bigfoot at all. Its features are far too human. Despite its thick coat of hair, it resembles a large primitive human more than an ape-like being, adding another layer of mystery to its origins. So what exactly are we looking at here? Is this some kind of evolutionary missing link? Could it be a human suffering from a condition like hypertrichosis, which causes excessive hair growth? Or is it something else entirely? Kindly share your thoughts. Since we're featuring clips from the past you guys have a problem with, I thought I'd feature one of mine and run a short quiz. We have shared this before. Who remembers the explanation I gave? If you don't remember, can you explain what you're seeing? Tell us in the comments section and start your answer with the word quiz. All the best.
A man from Tampa shared this video online and it quickly gained attention. In the footage, you can see a mysterious black sphere hovering above the water. At first, it looks like a balloon floating in the air. According to the man, he witnessed this object emerge from the water before it hovered in place over the ocean. Naturally, he assumed it was a UFO, which sparked a mix of excitement, fear, and curiosity among viewers. However, as the video spread, a particular comment caught everyone's attention. It turns out this footage has been circulating for a year now, and it's already been debunked as fake. While it's disappointing for those hoping this was evidence of something extraordinary, we can't believe everything we see of late. Now, this was intentionally recorded by a woman as she walked into her kitchen, and for a brief second, her camera captured what appeared to be a humanoid figure standing by the counter. It was the size of a child, but just as quickly as it appeared, it was gone. Here's the eerie backstory. The woman had recently purchased an ice maker, and ever since, she started hearing strange noises coming from the kitchen at the very spot where the ice maker is kept. Was this a coincidence? Well, maybe not. Now, it's unclear whether the ice maker was brand new or slightly used, but here's something worth considering. Haunted items often have a history, especially when they've been owned by someone else before being resold. If the spirit we saw is indeed affiliated to the ice maker, she may want to get rid of it and make sure it didn't belong to a dead person or a witch.
This video taken back in 2015 in Spain shows something truly puzzling. It captures a strange object hovering in the sky. At first glance, it doesn't resemble anything you'd expect to see up there. As the camera zooms in, you notice that the object is oddly shaped, almost like half of a heart, but far too smooth for anything natural. What's more intriguing is that it isn't shiny or reflective like many UFO sightings we've seen on this channel. This thing just hovers there, slowly rotating, as if it's observing the world below. It's unlike any UFO or aircraft we've uncovered before. Has anyone seen something similar before, or can anyone figure out what we're looking at here? Julius thinks it looks like digitally created content, but I really want to hear your thoughts.
These women were caught on video in the middle of the street performing a protest, but it honestly has people confused. They're doing this strange choreographed dance right there in public. According to them, it's a form of protest. But when you actually watch what they're doing, it's hard to tell what the message is supposed to be. The movements are odd, almost theatrical, like a performance art piece than a direct protest. Can this be considered a protest? Traditionally, a protest is about clearly voicing a message against injustice, bringing attention to an issue and trying to bring change. But when your message is buried in its abstract movements that most people can't interpret, is that still effective? There are people out there risking a lot to make a difference, marching, speaking out, and organizing communities. Compared to that, well, this just feels confusing. Some even say it's just a complete waste of time, and I, for one, am one of them. So is this some New Age form of peaceful protest we just don't understand yet, or is it performative noise that misses the point entirely? And with that, we end today's episode. Thank you for staying with us. Before you go, are there clips and videos you think we should have featured by now that we haven't? Well, the good news is you can share them with us and we'll post them crediting you. Please send any such footage, including ones you recorded yourself, to us via classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll do our thing and include it in our next episode. We can't wait to receive what you have. I've been Steve. This has been Classified Captures. Share this video with someone you love, and I'll see you in the next one.